Hi, Gleasonites! Today we're going to look at the different types of resources you may have collected during your search process, including primary and secondary sources. We'll refresh on what primary and secondary sources are, and discuss key things to look for in determining which type you have and whether it will be applicable to your research assignment. Primary sources are materials or evidence directly from the topic or event, while secondary sources interpret or analyze the event, usually commenting on, referencing, or quoting a primary source. If you're wondering which one your source is, remember to think about whether the author or creator was directly involved in the event or topic you're researching. Primary and secondary sources are both records of the event and still valid data sources. There are key differences in the source's publication, creator, and evidence used that can inform your determination, though. Is the document firsthand or an interpretation of the source material? When was it published? Primary sources are generally created at the time of the event, and secondary sources usually are published later by analyzing those artifacts. Was the author or creator directly involved in the event? Secondary sources are usually written by subject matter experts that were not actually involved at the time. Does the source present new evidence? If there's a new finding, that will often be a primary source, as secondary sources will review established evidence and data found in other studies. Let's look at how these differences may appear in different types of sources. In considering scientific journal articles, primary sources will have new findings, data, and results. Secondary journal articles will be literature reviews or annotated bibliographies that do not have new data and instead interpret the conclusions of multiple studies for an analysis. If researching specific people, anything made by the person, such as diary entries or letters, are primary, but work done about the person without their involvement are secondary, such as biographies and documentaries. Documents such as laws and bills that come directly from the government are primary sources, where someone's critique or analysis of those documents are secondary sources. Whether your sources are primary or secondary, it's important to make sure you cite your sources. Check out our Ethical Use of Information video series for a refresher on why citations matter. If you need more help with your research, ask a librarian. We're here in person via 24/7 chat, email, and phone to help answer your questions, or visit the reference librarians at the library.